What is going on, everyone? BLN437 here. Welcome to the channel. Oh my god, what a great division series we got, man. We got a great division series. We got a great game 5. But before I get into that, I just want to thank everybody that's been loving these postseason videos, that have been commenting down below, liking the video, just everybody, even new subscribers that I've gained as well from these videos. I really enjoyed interacting with you guys, and hopefully to some of the newer ones that have subscribed, I hope you guys join in and interact with us as well. I love talking about the postseason. I love talking about baseball in general, and I just can't wait to see more postseason games. But let's get into what I'm going to be talking about here, and I'm going to start off with a story that I told. I told a story 2 days ago in my video when the Yankees won the 4th game. And I'm going to repeat it here today, and I'm going to add a little bit of a twist to it now. So, I had mentioned a story about the 1996 World Series. The Yankees were down 2-0 against the Atlanta Braves. George M. Steinbrenner, the Yankee owner at the time, went into Torre's office complaining about the performance of the team like he always used to do. And Joe Torre tells George, listen, Atlanta's my town. We'll win 3 down there, and we'll win it for you in Game 6 in New York. And lo and behold, the Yankees did. And I had mentioned that we won 2 and we were looking to win Game 5 in Cleveland. Well, George, if you heard me, if you saw my video somehow or just whatever, I mean, we won 2 in our town, and then we won it for you in your town of Cleveland. A lot of people don't know that George M. Steinbrenner was born and raised in Cleveland. He actually was going to buy the Indians before he bought the Yankees in 1972. Gabe Paul is one of the main reasons why George Steinbrenner bought the Yankees in 1972. Cleveland was so close to having a George Steinbrenner ownership, and when Gabe Paul told George Steinbrenner that the Yankees were on sale, George felt that he couldn't let that opportunity go. His father always talked about how he needed to respect the Yankees because the Yankees were an example of excellence, of success, and what you want to kind of, what you want to model yourself out, what you want to model yourself after as a company man, as just anything in general. You want to be successful in anything, and that's why George ended up buying the Yankees. And he paid, like I said, he paid $1.1 million, and he bought them from CBS. And lo and behold, the Yankees have become an even better franchise than when he once bought them. But I digress. I'm going to talk more about the series. I want to say congratulations to the Cleveland Indians. They had a great season. They gave us a lot of great moments in this regular season. The 22-game winning streak, Corey Kluber just dominating, just all of the things that they did this season. They had a great season. Caps off to them. They almost had it. They almost had it, and they just couldn't get the job done. But that should not take away from an excellent regular season that the Cleveland Indians have had. They just couldn't execute in the last 3 games that they played. And that's what cost him. I mean, in the first game, Miller just couldn't find it. He wasn't himself, and he gave up a home run to Bird. And Masahiro pitched brilliantly. I have to give it to Masahiro Tanaka. In Game 4, they just couldn't find it defensively. I mean, defensively, they made 2 mistakes. I believe Urshela made 2 mistakes early on in the game. The Yankee offense was out to attack. Bauer was going on early rest. And the Yankees just flat out took him. They just took him. And they weren't afraid. They were not afraid of the challenge. And here in Game 5, I'll talk about that in a minute, but Game 5 was almost the exact same thing in a sense, but let's just not take away from what they've done. And that's all I'm going to sit here and say. Now let's talk about Game 5 for a second, because I'll get into other things as we go on. This Game 5 was nerve-wracking for me. I came into this Game 5, I was worried as hell. I didn't know what to think. I didn't know if CeCe was the right call. I thought that he would want to go with Sonny Gray. He did not go with Sonny Gray. He went with CeCe. I think one of the main reasons he went with CeCe Sabathia is mainly because Gary Sanchez won't have to worry about catching a Sonny Gray, who is one of the harder guys to throw into or catch in the league. And that was just a safe bet. But I mean, the game started off with Corey Kluber. Not to me, he didn't seem like he had his best stuff. And everybody was sitting here saying, "Oh, he's got his best stuff," or at least on Twitter, and oh, he'll put it together. And I sat there and I was like, well, he hasn't done it yet. He struggled with, other than the Gardner at bat, because Gardner bunted. I don't know why, but he did in the first at bat. He didn't look comfortable against Judge. He looked a little off. And then when he got to the Gregorius at bat, he just didn't look good as well. and he gave up that huge home run to Gregorius after he got Judge out. And I was excited. I was like, all right, there we go. That's the run support that we needed, or at least that's the jump. That's the start that we need to have in the game. We need to, we need to score early, and we need to score often if we can. We did there, and then Didi comes up again, I believe, in the fourth inning, and hits another bomb. And at that point, I was just like, oh my god, like this place is dead now. The Cleveland Indian fans just were silent from even the first home run, and then the second home run, they were just completely silent. And credit goes to Sabathia as well. Sabathia and Didi are the MVPs, or the co-MVPs, for the first 4 innings of the game. Sabathia executed his pitches really well, and they didn't get a hit off of him until I believe the 5th inning, which we'll get to that 5th inning in a minute. And then Didi Gregorius had 3 runs that were driven, and that proved to be the big 3 runs, at least for the first half of the game. Huge runs, and he just looked great. I keep saying that Didi's a top 5 shortstop. I know a lot of people don't agree with me. Some people may say it's Segura. Some people may say it's Cozart. Some people may say it's whoever you want to put in there. But I think Didi is a top 5 shortstop, especially in the American League. He's a top 5 shortstop. But let's get into that 5th inning. That 5th inning, CC Sabathia struggled. He didn't look too crisp as he once did. He started to give up hit after hit after hit. I believe he gave up 4 straight singles, which drove in 2 runs. And at that point, and I'm sorry for the gameplay, guys, it quits, and then I'm just kind of roaming around the screen so you guys can kind of see what I've gotten done. But yeah, he found some trouble in the bottom of the 5th inning. And at that point, I was yelling at Joe. I was like, Joe, you gotta take him out. You gotta take him out. I'm yelling at my screen. I'm just saying, at my TV screen, saying, you gotta take him out, Joe. He just didn't have it at that point in the game. He just lost it. And credit to David Robertson. He got a huge double play, and he kind of was the savior, the bridge, as he was in the wild card game for the Yankees here in this game. He went about 2.5 innings. He was able to get the balls to Chapman. He got the huge out, the huge double play, the 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Pitched the 6th, pitched the 7th, and man, was he great. And then with Chapman coming in, Chapman had a great 8th inning. That was just beautiful. I loved that moment where Chapman just came in and just seemed like he knew what he was doing. He knows how to pitch multiple innings now, which is great. That's something that he learned at Chicago, and he's redeemed himself. Now, I'm not the biggest Aroldis Chapman fan. I did get on him a lot when he struggled, but I'll give him his due. He did what he had to do in this game, and he performed well. Now, the other big part of this game was that 9th inning, right before Chapman came in, again for the 9th. That Yankee offense took a long time to get us to the bottom of the 9th inning. They were grinding out at bats, preferably or mainly Brett Gardner. He just had a huge 12-pitch at bat where he was fouling ball. At first he was taking pitches, but then he was fouling everything off. It was just like foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball, foul ball. And Cody Allen just looked like, it was like, what else can I throw this guy? I'm throwing this guy, freaking breaking balls. I'm throwing him fastballs inside. I'm throwing him fastballs outside. I'm throwing everything I can. I'm literally doing the best that I can to just get this guy out. And this guy just doesn't want to, doesn't want to go out. He doesn't want to pop up. He doesn't want to fly out. He doesn't want to strike out, to the point that he laid a pitch in there and he took advantage of it. And it was bad defense out there. 2 bad defensive plays out in well, I shouldn't say bad defensive plays. The ball took a weird hop when Aaron Hicks got that base hit, but when Brett Gardner got that base hit, that's just bad defense there by Jason Kipnis. He was trying to get the ball in too fast instead of trying to worry about just actually trying to hit the cutoff man, and that allowed Frazier to score after he kind of overthrew it to Francisco Lindor. And at that point, that was the dagger for the Cleveland Indians. At that point, the Indians were just, it just seemed like they couldn't come back after not being able to hit Robertson at all for 2 2/3 innings, and then kind of struggling with Chapman as they have all series long. You just kind of felt that it was done for them in that bottom of the 9th inning. They just had nothing left in the tank, and Chapman closed it out in the 9th inning. It was, it was smooth sailing to me. It wasn't that bad of a 9th inning. It was easy. He did what he had to do, and that was it. He did give up a hit, but he got through the 9th inning. And if you were to tell me that the Yankees were going to win this series down 0-2, I would have sat here and told you guys that you were joking. I did believe that the Yankees would win in 5, but I didn't believe it was going to be this way. And I didn't believe that Corey Kluber was going to have 2 of his worst starts of the season in the postseason at all. I honestly did not believe that, but he did. And the Yankees took advantage of at least one of those 2 bad starts because they gave up game 2, and They just took advantage of it. And I think this team rallied around what happened to them in game 2. I think they knew that Joe Girardi's job might have been on the line, and they kind of grouped together and was like, listen, we got to save our manager's job. We love Joe, and I never wanted Joe to be fired. Even after that miserable game in game 2, I wanted Joe to stay. I believe that Joe is the best guy for this job, and they did it. They did it for him. They did a great job doing that. And I thought that the Yankees definitely had to take one game in Cleveland, and I thought that was the first 2 games. They did not do that, and they put themselves in a jam where they had to win 2 at Yankee Stadium. They did. Greg Bird with a big home run, and the Yankees offense exploded for a great game in Game 4, and they showed up again in Game 5. They had a great great offensive game, preferably Didi Gregorius. But that's just what the Yankee baseball is about: taking pitches, working the counts, not giving up, grinding each and every at bat, and at least trying to get a lead by the 5th or 6th inning for that bullpen. And boy, did they do that, and they did a good job of doing that. They kept this game pretty much at 1 run for at least today in Game 5, and then Chapman was able to do his job once he got the lead, and that was it. That was the game. I mean, once Chapman came in, that was the game. But like I said, I thought you would have to at least win 1 in Cleveland, one of the first 2 games in Cleveland. Preferably the Bauer start, but they didn't do that, and they just gave up, or not gave up, but they couldn't get the job done in Game 2. I think they knew going into Game 3 and 4 that they had to win. You just felt the confidence in this team. You just felt like these guys knew that they can do it. They rallied around their manager and what has happened to him. And this is a team that doesn't quit. It doesn't die. And I got the Yankees beating the Astros. I got the Yankees beating the Astros in 7, guys. I think the Yankees can do it. This is one of those things where, my gut and my mind is telling me, you know what, you got to go with the Astros. The Astros are quote unquote the better team, but man, the Yankees are just so hot right now, and my heart tells me to, just go with your team and stick with your favorite team. And what type of fan would I be if I didn't root for my Yankees in this series against the Astros? So I got the Yankees beating the Astros in 7. In 7. I think it's going to be a great series once again. I think the Yankees pen is going to be the big key to this series that's coming up against the Astros. I mean, the Astros have a decent bullpen. They got guys like Ken Giles and stuff like that. But really, what's going to help win that series is if guys like Dallas Keuchel and Justin Verlander can do the job that they've done all season long. And we'll see. We will see. But right now, guys, Yankee fans, listen, I know that this is great. This is, you guys want to be excited, but this is just step 1 of an ongoing process. This is just step 1 of 3. We have to go through step 2 right now against the Houston Astros and on Friday night. So enjoy this victory now and enjoy it tomorrow, and just know that we got to get back to work on Friday night. And let's go Yankees. I mean, that's why I got winning this series. And for people who are wondering where the Washington Nationals and Cubs video is, or where it's going to be, or what time is it going to be up, it will be up sometime tomorrow afternoon, maybe right before the series starts, maybe like around 2 or 3. So hopefully you guys watch that as well. That's a fun video. I can't wait to have you guys listen to that video as well. And that's pretty much it, guys. So if you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment as well. Let me know who do you guys have for the championship series. I'm gonna go over the championship series as a whole tomorrow, and the video will be out on Friday right before the game starts. And also make sure to check out that National League Division Series that I put up. But like I said, if you guys like the video, make sure to leave a like down below. Comment as well. Subscribe if you are new. We are going to be doing a whole bunch of postseason review content. We're just waiting for that National League Division Series game to be over, and then we're in the championship series for both leagues. And let's go Yankees. What a great win. What a great comeback. This team is special. They're young. They're hungry. And I can't wait to watch them play another young, hungry team in the Houston Astros. Later on, guys.